Okay, now let me share my screen so you can all see that. My VPN is kind of crazy, going something very, very important. But I think it's all crazy. Let me check out the I'll solve that later. But sharing my screen right now, coming up, and there. Okay. So I'm going to open up our tutorial. This is day 5. So I'm going to run it at terminal pm run dev. Oh, I didn't go in there. So say cd that then npm run dev. Okay. Okay, so I'll say benv / bin / python run. Okay, so our application is starting, and opening our application right now. So you can see we have, this is the end result of Monday's lesson. We created a mini ChatGPT, which is like, this one is connected to OpenAI directly. Like, our last topic was a deep dive into OpenAI. Okay, but here, this is a very good example of that. So we can say, hello. So now we are talking to ChatGPT, not ChatGPT, OpenAI AI or GPT-5 models. We're talking to them directly. Okay. So, and we can also be talking to any of the model we choose. So it says, I'm currently experiencing difficulty with my AI service. Please try again. So this is more like a fail-safe. I can say something like, how are you today? Could I rephrase? So, okay, let me try something else. Okay, I think the AI is having some. You see, I can have chat trails and create a new session and everything, just like a mini ChatGPT. So this was built in a very short time, just following our development patterns. But this time around, a deeper dive into OpenAI API. Okay, so that was what we did last Monday, and it was very, very great because at least now we know that we can handle a lot of AI stuff, especially if it's an API from another source, more like an API from OpenAI, let's to say. So let's move on to this week topic. Uh, this week topic, we're going to look at building RAG systems. But before we look at RAG systems, we're going to look at LangChain basics. Okay, LangChain basics. I think. Oh, I think I made a mistake within the description for last Monday's video. I think I'll have to do that later. But before that, I will be looking at LangChain basics for this week. So LangChain is a framework for composing AI models, calls with other logic, data source, and tools into concurrent application rather than making isolated API requests. So if you want to compose in a new AI model for yourself or maybe for your company, instead of building it from scratch, there's already AI models that are untrained that have been built just for you, right? All you have to do is pay for these models and you train them yourself to do everything you want, to do everything you want them to do. You train them on that ground using that data. So I think everything you want can varies from you want the AI to be very good at photo editing, you want the AI to be very good at fashion designing, you want the AI to be very good at uh, designing, uh, yeah, fashion design is designing, then video editing and so on and so forth, 3D design, game development, and so on and so forth. It's unlimited. But so it says it's a framework for composing AI model. Now the chains, the prompt and templates. Prompt template, reusable prompt template structure with variable placeholders, keeping prompt logic separate from the application logic. A chain is a sequence of steps. Remember I told you guys that when we are sending prompt to AI, we have to break it down into several contexts. After our first natural language, then followed by a comma, and each context follows by a comma. Okay? And these contexts are to-dos, all related to one problem. Let's say you want to create a login page. Make sure that your contexts, everything within your prompt should follow a same logic of a login page, not outside the login page. It has to be within the same context. So that particular approach is called chaining. Okay, chaining prompts, chain prompts. Um, you'll see it in the lesson notes. Actually specified it there. So another thing that is very important to understand that we'll try much as possible to explain a bit better is memory management. In development, memory management has become a very strong issue, right? Because to avoid leakage and every other thing that follows. Memory component stores and reinject prior conversation history into new requests, allowing an application to maintain context across multiple tongues, even though each API calls is otherwise stateless. Now, one good thing about LangChain is that even though you're using API, which is a bit stateless, most API calls is stateless, it still remembers your last request. Okay, somehow it has a memory of everything you've been discussing. Okay, and also you yourself as the developer, when making such calls, you should also cache calls, your API calls and response, replies, and then create a new context based on those response and requests. That gives you a upper hand with stronger memory management. Okay. So next one is the document loader and text splitter. So we can load documents to it, and then we can break text into several sections, and the output faces and structured data. So the output will now have a structured data that we can now use as an outputted information. So that is it. But let's look at I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to look at today major. We're going to have bonus classes. I'm going to show you one or two things for developers uh, who want to also make their designs and also go outside their design. Okay. Now, and first of all, we're going to look at how all this, you know, now let's say we want to build something like ChatGPT, and we want our model to be different. We don't want to use ChatGPT model. So now we'll have to use LangChain. Okay, LangChain. So this is LangChain. So here we can construct our model any way we see fit. Okay, you can see a lot of companies are using them already, like Coinbase, LinkedIn, and so on and so forth. Okay, and we can accelerate our development and build our own model for our own projects. See, you see the planning tools, the file system, system prompts, have deep agent, have sub agent. We can build all this in less than few months, not few years. Okay, you see, build agent fast with any model provider. So we can choose any model provider we want, maybe Claude. We can use Claude. We can use Open GPT-5. We can use DeepSeek. We can use When. There's a whole lot of AI models out there, a whole bunch of AI models. You can even make your own AI models and train them, and then it become a thing. People will want to use it. But to make models are no joke. Creating model, you have to train and retrain, train and retrain, train and retrain. And sometimes it might end up with bad results even after months of training. Okay, but let's look at what I wanted to show you apart from this. So this is all for LangChain. We'll be looking at the bonuses for today. Today, I'm going to show you something that I've been using to accelerate my work and how I've developed a lot of projects over time. And the best practice you must keep, that is for a developer to keep. Or if you are an aspiring developer, or if you don't want your job to be novice-like, you want your job to look very professional and to avoid some mistakes. Now, it's mandatory that every developer follow a particular coding pattern. Okay, so I'm going to go to my, sorry about this. This is my work. Okay. Mm, okay. Mm, So we're going to start with the first things, the first few things, right? When creating a project, first of all, you have to drop down the list of use cases you want this project to have. Let's say um, the kind of uh, the kind of things you want to use this project for, and what you plan to use it for. So now those use case you have to highlight each and every single one. So each of those use case it's what makes your product. Okay, and try as much as possible to minimize unnecessary use case. Okay, but for some cases, using AI to generate those use cases can be faster, but it's very advised after doing this, you edit and subtract cases whereby you don't want to this use case to be used as of the moment. Let's say, for instance, you are building something highly complex. Let's say, for instance, you're building. This is very complex. So let's say, for instance, you're building a social media network. Okay, social media network. So first of all, you have to give the AI a context. Now, first explain, and remember to put this in the front. So, see, this is the first, uh, the first natural language I use. I hope we can all say it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it says, I said, don't do anything. So I'm just making sure that the AI, this ChatGPT is not going to go crazy and then start doing a whole bunch of stuff that I don't want. In order to prevent that, I just did this. So now I'm going to start by explaining what my project is all about. Let's say I want to create a project called a project for a project like TikTok and Facebook, mixed functionalities. Okay. Now I say don't do anything. Now what will happen is in memory, this uh this you can see it didn't do anything. Can we see that?
Yes, sir.
It just highlighted what I said and it stopped there. So now the purpose of this is just to give memory to what you are about to do. Okay, you are just giving memory of what you want to do to this AI. Now I'm going to open a new chat. The next thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a new logo. Like I'm going to create a very fantastic logo from existing logos. But in order to be sure, first of all, we'll have to choose a name. And when you create something and you don't get the name you want, or you don't know the name you need, but you don't know what to call it, it's best you look for someone or somebody and you draft a name. Okay. Let's call it Chickstar. So let's start with, so first, the first one is a context. The second one is natural language. So you can either use any of, when you want to give memory to what you want to do without actually doing anything, make sure this don't do anything is part of your prompt. Now I have a, okay, let's say I want to create a logo for Trickstar. Okay, so let's say I didn't want to spell the trick correctly. So let's say this is the logo I want to make. Okay, now I will ask, this time around, what I'm trying to teach you is the way of graphics design and how to design something very correctly. Remember last time when we are doing UI UX design, how we did UI UX design for our project, we followed a similar pattern. But first of all, we're going to go to colors.co. I'm going to paste that. I'm going to paste it in the group, in the conversation area, so we can visit the link anytime we want. So I just pasted it in the conversation area, colors.co. So I hope you can all see my screen, right? So in colors.co, we can easily scroll and choose colors. Here we'll just go to color picker, which is what we want. So color picker will bring us to colors. You can see several bunch of colors that we want. So it can be any of this. Okay. So for our logo, we want let's say a bit purplish. Since this is for social media generation, for social media creation. Okay, I think let me just copy this. First of all, go back to my chat history. So paste this and then, okay. So now I'm going to just give it a bunch of uh, informations. I'll still say, don't do anything. Okay. Here is our primary color. So make sure you highlight your primary colors. Okay. So, and as I'm pasting this color, don't forget to put ash in the front of the color. All right. So, and I'm going to pick up a new color. I think I'll just do white, which is normal. See, white is uh, the front. Yeah, white. Then I'm going to paste the second one. Okay. Above is reference logo. Now, for reference logos, all I have to do is go to Google and search Facebook, mm, sorry, social media logos. Okay, so I'm going to see bunch of logos, right? So these are all social media logos. So this social media logos gives us, this one here itself gives us a very great um more information, gives us a very great more data, gives us great response. So I'm going to specify how many logos do I have in that image. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 logos. 12 logos. So the more information you add here, you can still go to the images, pick more logos if you want, and then, okay, let's say since Telegram is not there, can go back here, copy Telegram, and come back and paste it. So I'm going to add more 13 logos. Okay, so I'm going to upload that, and I'm still referencing it not to do anything. Okay, so now we are done. We are done. We are done with all we want to do. We are ready to create the logo and our social media. So, but here, what we want to do here today is just the graphics part of it, which is the image. So we're going to say create our chick star logo. Okay. And one more, make it sleek. Don't forget the word sleek. Make it transparent. If you want it to be transparent, make it professional. So this gives you now everything here is bunch of context. There's no natural language here, just bunch of context. Now I've given it all the information we want to give it. We are now ready to make the logo. So what I just did here is I broke down the prompt in chains. Okay, in chain, several chains, just connecting the dots, because currently right now, ChatGPT has a way, not just ChatGPT, uh, uh, AI in general has a way of remembering your conversations, everything you guys have conversed. After this, I'm going to also show, because we are done with majorly with today's class. Tomorrow, we are going to look at building RAG systems, the fundamentals of building RAG systems, okay? The trivia of augmented generation. And today, we're just going to go around on bonus classes, okay? So while we wait, the image will be generated shortly, and it's going to be something wonderful. You're going to see that our logo is going to look very sleek, very professional, and very sweet. So now, the next thing we're going to do next, I'm going to show you how to create animations, like let's say you want to create animations, something like somebody running, somebody jumping. And with those animations, you can make your own videos if you don't want to be using if you don't want to be using if you don't want to be using other AIs to create those videos yourself. I want to show you how to create those videos from scratch. But majorly, I want to show you the most important thing is how the animation looks. So you can see how slick and professional our video looks. Our our logo looks. Hello,
Yes, sir.
guys. You can see
Yes, sir.
how good it looks. So this is how you create something extraordinary. And when other people sees your your work, it looks professional. But there's one more thing here that is very generic, and uh, you will want to exclude it your from your code. But this actually fits because the star, the trick, and the star and everything, see, it's all matched. It's all matched correctly. Okay, so let's look at the next phase, which is animation development. First of all, we're going to look for the character we're going to use for this animation. So let's look at somebody sitting down. First of all, let me look for my bookmark. Ah, it's not here. Hmm, sitting down. Let me check. I think I have this somewhere. Texture pack. I think there's where I have that. Not this one. Not this one. Not this one. Not this. Not this. Not this. Let me see if this is the one. Not this. Not this. Not this. Nah, this isn't it. Uh, where is you? Nah, not this one. Okay. This platform is kind of very, very good for uh packing of images and using them for animations. But let's go over what we're going to do. So we're going to add, okay, let's use our image, for instance. We're going to animate it. So I'm going to copy this image and now I'm going to just copy the image alone without, I'm going to copy the image alone without the name. So I'm going to open up a new profile. Sorry, I have lots of profiles. So I'm going to open up a new profile and open up ChatGPT. Here, I'm going to do something similar. So now we want to create dismantle animation, like the star and then the rolling stuff and everything. Okay, and we want to make it look a bit flashy. So here I'm going to show you something. Uh, so I'm going to say create a dismantling animation steps for the logo alone. Please always specify what you want to do when. So you see, because I didn't specify, it's just uh went ahead and okay. So now look at this. He said the first step is the trickster emblem appears centered and fully assembled. The second one, the third one, the fourth one. So this is what I'm going to do. Shape split. So I'm going to do the reverse of this. So starting from the first one, this prompt is going to be very big. So when I'm done, I'm going to paste it in the conversation area. So I'm going to say, take note of the first few words I'm going to write in the prompt. So I'm going to say, create a sprite sheet. Okay. So I'm going to give it, what is the size of this image again? Okay. So I'm going to say, what is the size of this image? So please always uh, find out so you know uh, what to do and how to ask your questions. You can actually find out yourself by using a size detector, or you can save the image in your computer to find out the size. But you see, doing that here is very simple. So here we have a 603 pixel and 431. So now, what size within embedded within sprite sheets would be preferred for 10 of 10? Now, all right, what this question you're asking here is so now you have a clear picture of everything you want. So the first one is 128 by 100. The second one is 256 by 100. So the last one is 512 by 400. So now we don't want this. So we're going to say create a spreadsheet. Then you use 128 by 100. So always remember to do this. Or yeah, 128 by 100, which is good. Noun, comma, each frame follows this, follows these. So now we're going, remember we have context, context content. So which comes in with an angle bracket. So we will use that context. Okay. So I'm going to go over. So this is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. I'm going to copy everything and change it to step 10, step 9, step 8, step 7, step 6, step 5, step 4, step 3, step 2, step 1. So I'm going to paste context. Now, before that, I'm going to add one more context. Use our logo. Use given image, which is better. And then I'm going to send this. So let me paste this in the comment in our conversation section. So this is the prompt. I just pasted it in the conversation area. Okay. Let's send this. So what is this is going to create for us is going to create for us a set of images with the same logo across 10 frames. Okay, it's going to be frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4, frame 5, all the way to 10 frames, following using 128 times 100. Okay, to do that. And with this, with that 128 by 100, we can easily um, animate it from there. So let me look at wait, I think there's where I saved the bookmark for, not here. So you can see the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, and the 9 and the 10. So this is a frame. So this is our first frame. We can download it and view it ourselves. So now this is 128 by 100. So if we go online and look for give from sprite sheet. Think we can see something like that. Think this is what we were looking for earlier. No, I don't think that's it. Spreadsheet to gift. Think we can just paste this. And it's giving us how many frames? Nah, these frames are not what is there. So we need to specify. So I'm going to clear everything. Let me paste this. Let me be sure that. I think I will have to use another different. There's one that I used one certain time. It was perfect. It was great. There's a whole bunch of them out there, but the best one is all these ones are using manual approach. I think that one uses automatic dictation and it's quite great. Not generator, not this one. Let me try something else. Let me try this one. So while it scans the image, so this will be our final bonus topic for today. While we wait for the image to come online. Um, okay. Yeah, I found it. Whoa, this is it. So I'm going to use it now. I found it. No need to do any of that. I just go to spreadsheet analyzer. So no file loaded. Drag and drop. So it's analyzing my preview. So this is it. And then give creator, spreadsheet creator, spreadsheet splitter, which is what I used the last time. And it's going to dictate my spreadsheet. It's scanned across everything. So I'm going to delete the ones that are not meaningful. Okay. So I'm going to paste this link in the group. So in case you are planning on making animations or GIF animation that okay, you can see now I have the whole sprite sheet that we generated from. So I'm going to click everything here, select, and I'm going to click this little green button. So when I play this, you can see it's very fast actually, but can select everything, shift, control. So before the animation, can just highlight somewhere and then change everything to. Is there someone? Okay. Okay. You can see the animation is there. So I can just increase this to 200 ms, 200 ms, 200 ms, 200 ms. Now I think we'll have to remove this guy. 200 ms, 200 ms, 200 ms, 200 ms. So now I'm going to play. See, this is our animation from, see how we came about this and how it was generated. So from here, we can export our GIF. Transparent background. And then click export. And our GIF will be downloaded and we can now run it anywhere at any time. See? But just make sure that I think our let me export again. The settings is kind of freaky. Let me export again. Okay, the color I'm choosing is what is the problem. I'm going to export again. This time around, I'm going to choose black. Okay. And there you go. Okay. Just because we are running on, let me open it directly from my, something is wrong with the exporting engine actually, but it's fine. At least you can see we have our animation here and it's working properly. We can export it and use it anywhere, any place. And this gives us a, you can see the animation, the sliding, the breaking, everything coming together to form the to form the to form the logo. So that's wonderful. We have succeeded in creating an animation, and that's really great. Is there any question or anything that is there is an issue, any problems that you might want to solve fast? Anything at all? Okay, Okiki is no longer here. I think that's fine. We can round up. So, is there any issue? Anything you would like us to solve together?
No, sir.
So, everything I just said, you really, really understand it very well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great. That's wonderful. So, let me stop the recording for this class. I think that will be it for today's class. And I'll see you on the next. But
Okay, sir.
so you have to stay online. So while I end the recording, so we can sort out your VS Code problems.
Okay, sir.
All right.